Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Spot, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Hello, and welcome to another week of Phillies Weekly. Very interesting week. We went 2-4, Jeff, on the week, and I know you had a pretty interesting week to traveling and doing some fun stuff. So looking forward to hearing from you. Also, we have a packed show. It's a very special show because it's kind of half of the season. We have our social media gurus here with us today. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the surprises from the first half. And then we're going to be talking the MLB draft is going on right now. So how you doing, Jeff? What's going on, man?
It's going pretty well, Oscar. I'm missing talking to Brian Barber probably around at some time during this podcast, but that's okay. I'd rather hang out with you guys. But it's been a fun week in Cooperstown.
Come on, he's going to complain already. Oh, my goodness, complaining already. Well,
I'm on vacation. What do you want me to say?
I mean, how many weeks are you on vacation throughout the year, man? I don't
how many weeks don't I take vacation throughout the year?
Hey, it's look, it's always a special week when I'm here with you and sharing it with everybody out there. And look, we're going to talk about the fightings. It was a painful week, I would call it. I mean, those losses, I mean, that second loss in San Francisco, the worst loss of the year. But today we came back. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, this team needs kind of a recharge. I mean, and it looks that way. And we're going to talk more about it with our dear friends. So we have John Foley, Nick Piccone, the legend, is here with us. And then Kyle Fisher is coming to join us for the first time. So let me bring them. It's gonna be a process, man. You gotta hand tight with me here. Let's see. Let's bring them all one at a time. Here we go. There are the guys, the legends, the one and only. And here we are. I mean, look at this, man. This is the Hall of Fame. When I look at these three guys, Hall of Fame of social media in Philly. I mean, Nick Piccone, look, he's always been my MVP. This is the guy that puts all the calls out there. Cannot thank you enough, Nick, for always doing that. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, the Phillies won. Love Island season finales tonight, so I'm pumped. Let's go.
There we go.
Oh my God, you're gonna have to feed me on that one, man. I have not seen anything like that. No, I don't think in my life. John, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Doing good, Oscar. Good to see you, Jeff.
Oh, we lost you there for a second. I'm telling you, that technology is something else.
Yeah.
Kyle,
John knows he's talking.
He's talking. I mean, I think he's doing it on purpose, man. He's doing it. That's how he feels about the week. How Phillies week have gone. Kyle, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Doing great, man. So happy to be here. Excited to join you guys. Been following along every single week of the season. Me and Jeff go way back. Me and John, some good times. Nick, pleasure to meet you. Everything you do is awesome. So, and Oscar, I mean, you talk about us being legends. You are the legend on this stream. So just good to be here with you, man.
Everything goes according to the last out. Who makes the last out? If we're anything legends or not. John, do you want to come out and come back in, or you're good?
Testing. Can you guys hear me now?
Now we can.
I can hear you.
There it is.
All
there
right.
it is.
All right. User
That's
error.
how he felt. How the week went. That's how he felt, and I wanted to bring it on. John, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Thanks, Oscar. Jeff, I'm glad you showed up to work for once.
I mean, finally, man. Finally, look at this. Well, I think, look, the most important thing is let's start from where we are, right? And I think this is the beauty of it, right? So we are in first place. Half a game. This has been a complete roller coaster. 1 week we were 5 games up. The next week we're 5.5 behind. Then we're 4 weeks up. We're 3 behind. Now we are. Look, the last couple of weeks has been like a a game and a half up and down. I mean, look, we're 55-41, and it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. It doesn't feel like we're that way, and we basically came out through this half a season, or kind of the All-Star break, kind of with 3 wheels trying to get over the hump, and I'm glad this road trip is over. I don't know. Maybe start with you, Jeff, and then we'll go to John, Nick, and then Kyle.
Yeah, it felt like it. Their record felt like their record before this road trip, and I just remember Luke saying last week, just get 3-3 and no injuries, and I agree with him. No injuries, no notable injuries, I should say that. Alec Bohm was out today, but okay, he got hit in the ribcage, whatever. He's fine. But yeah, this was kind of a disappointing week to me. I mean, this offense was inconsistent. The way they lost Tuesday night, it should have been a 3-3 road trip if we're going to be honest with ourselves. But they were in every game. I agree with you, Oscar. I think this team just needs a reboot, a recharge, need a couple days off. It's kind of been a depressing week in a sense, because Andrew Painter ain't going to be coming up here after the All-Star break. Maybe Justin Crawford, but
let's stop talking about July, please. July is here and he's over. So let's not even talk about July.
Yeah. I mean, July's here, and look, he's just not ready yet. I'll just be blunt. He's just not ready yet
today, and he didn't look. And we'll talk more about Painter as we go into the show. So here is the week, guys. I mean, John, you want to talk about how you felt the week, and I'll explain the asterisk and all that below, which I found very interesting. But we'll talk about it. How you felt. I mean, where this team is in this, journey, because it's a marathon. Oh, we lost you again. That's how we felt
with John Foley this week.
That's how the week went. We can hear you.
He's inconsistent like the Phillies offense.
Nick, how you
write down everything and hold up cue cards and stuff.
What was that? He needs cards. On going up top. Nick, how do you felt the week went? And I mean, 2-4. It was that second. I mean, that was a classic, man. That's that home run with the bases loaded. Then paying back after what we did to them 2 times before. History comes back to haunt you, right?
Yeah. After the first game in San Francisco, I was like, okay, I guess I'll be fine with a 2-4 road trip. But after a 2-4 road trip, I'm not. Just based on, I think, how it went. They were in every game. Just the clutch hitting just was not there. Yeah. That I'm hoping and I don't even have stats of what's clutch and what's not. It's just watching the games and be like, okay, this would be a situation where we could use a clutch hit, and it just doesn't happen. Thankfully, JT had his today in the 8th inning that I wound up missing live because I was in the other room, and then I come back and they're up 2-1, so I had to rewind and watch everything, before that. So, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I just need not to watch it, and maybe they'll get clutch hits.
Come on, I mean, look, if you don't watch it, well, by the way, the Phillies just picked Gage Wood,
mainstream media always
right-handed pitcher. They just picked him on the draft. By the way, the Phillies just picked a right-handed arm out there with a 26 pick. Yeah, with the 26 picks. We'll talk more about it as we go into the.
That's the guy who threw the no-hitter in the College World Series, by the way. Gabe Wood.
We'll take it. He's from Arkansas. Is that where he's from?
Yeah, he threw it against was it Murray State? I can't remember. I watched all Coastal's games because I'm a Coastal fan, but I do remember when Wood threw the no hitter though.
We're tired of picking high school guys. We won the guys that are ready tomorrow to pitch here in the big league. So, Kyle, talk to us about the week in general and how you see things.
Yeah, San Fran, obviously, those first 2 games, especially the one with the non-calls in the 8th inning, maybe that goes a little bit of a different way. I don't know what it is about San Francisco, if it's the wind, the water, the weather, something throws them off. They've played terribly there for a long time. The bigger surprise to me was San Diego. Not only have they played that team very well, despite how good they've been these last few years, they play in San Diego very well. The 2 guys really like playing in San Diego, and it just didn't really click until today. You had a little bit of back and forth, so there were moments where you thought they might be able to pull off a win, especially on Saturday's contest. But yeah, it's just
whoever has the phone on, just turn it down. I mean, so we don't it doesn't echo. It was echoing a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
But
No, you're good. You're good.
a lot of what Nick said, I felt this way a lot this season where they've done a much better job this year of passing the baton, but no one's delivering the dagger. And it felt like you were waiting for that all week long and didn't really get it outside of course, Game 3 in San Fran.
I don't know, John. You're back, right? Can you hear me?
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Somehow, when I look at this team, I feel that we're playing every game hero ball. We need a hero that can hit a home run, or we depend too much on the home run. Look at San Diego, how yesterday and how today they scored. They found a way, even bunting or whatever they need to do. They find a way. And we need to do more of that, particularly the bottom of the order. We're expecting. If we're expecting a Stott, a March, to go in and bring us a big hit, it's not going to happen. Most times are not going to happen, and we depend too much on Harper and the home run by Harper or Schwarber or Turner to win the game. And we're going to have to play much better, smarter baseball, particularly when we're hitting, to be able to score more runs than the way we've been doing over the last few weeks.
I think you're absolutely right, Oscar. And the biggest problem with that is they're not hitting the home runs either, really. Compared to previous seasons.
I'll bring the next slide. I'll bring this one back. When we're talking home runs, I'm bad. Look at that. We're right now 16th in home run with 102 home runs.
And they were 18th going into today, so I guess they moved up. How'd they move up?
I don't know. This was yesterday. I came out. I couldn't do it after the game. I didn't have enough time, and I was broadcasting, so I needed to bring it. And here's where our hitting is. We're 11th. Look, we were 7th 2-3 weeks ago. Now we're 11th in hitting. So that's where we're in yellow. We continue to be 9th in OPS, 16th in home run. Again, you cannot depend on this. This team needs to, particularly the Stotts of this world, they need to find a way to hit ground balls and find holes like he did today once. At least he did it once today. I'm tired of those pop-ups. I'm tired, seriously. And I asked that last Sunday, I asked a question to Thompson. I asked, look, what's going on with his hitting? What do you say? Well, he's he's swinging up. Well, tell him to swing down. It's like...
he swings up all the time. That's the problem.
Those pop-ups, it's automatic. He goes out there, 8 out of 10 times he's hitting pop-ups. And I know Nick is tired of that, right, Nick?
I can't post any calls for that.
That's a good point. By the way, I didn't even see it. What did you do after the walk-off home run? What did you post at anything, or what did you do?
No, I went to bed. I went to bed. And I woke up and I was like, that really happened last night. And I knew I was going to get crap online, and I did, on certain platforms. But listen, you got to eat it sometimes. And I just was like, well, if they win today, and then they mashed. They won 13-0. So I was like,
13-0 And that, by the way,
that was too much to post.
Let me pull it out, and then I'll put it back in with the slides. The slide that I was gonna let me just pull it back out and find it. But basically, the slide that I wanted to show you is this whole thing about the game, where the reason the number is 4.17, the 0.417 runs per game, and it's the first time. If you look at all the years when we have a record underneath 500 every single week, we don't score 4 runs. This week was a typical. We scored 4.17 runs because of the 13-0 win we had in San Francisco.
Yeah, it was inflated. And that's why I get mad when people are like, well, they have a plus 62 run differential, or, you got to look at the run differential. I'm like, well, okay. Well, like you said, Oscar, they won a game 13-0. That's why the run differential was so high.
You take that out, you take that game out, and we scored 2 runs per game, including the win today. So that's kind of the reality. And look at our pitching. You cannot pitch better than 2.83 ERA. Better than
incredible.
2.83, forget it. That's we're 0.6 ERA, and we are. Our starting pitching is at 3.25, and it's number 1 in baseball.
Yeah. Oscar, they're just not taking advantage of how well everybody's pitching. And look, we talk about the big 3 all the time: Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and Zach Wheeler. But everybody's kind of giving them. And look at the bullpen Tuesday night. Everybody wants to blame the bullpen and Jordan Romano. Fine. But if you say, oh, the Phillies bullpen blew, I'm like, that is not the case at all. The Phillies bullpen was dealing until Jordan Romano came in on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's we'll talk about the bullpen momentarily to be discussed between the good, the bad, and the ugly of the first half of the season. But definitely, look, we have to hit much better on our hitting. I'm not comfortable where this lineup is, to be honest with you. I'm not. I just feel there's something. Look, we know the bullpen is not good outside of Kerr that he's doing a great job. Strom, I mean, he's more of a 7th and 8th inning guy than he is a closer. And you're putting him in a tough position, and he's trying through guts to try to go through that lineup. I mean, today, I mean, I don't have any more nails. I mean, I don't have any more hair, as you know, guys. But I mean, it's like, what are we going to do? I mean, it's like you go like this and you just try to survive through that 9th inning. I mean, and look, we know that Broski knows it. Everybody knows it, right? I mean, that he needs to bring a closer, a guy that can come in and close the game. Alvarado's not going to be eligible for the postseason. Look, and if the window is there, you're going to have to make a decision. Either you go all out or you don't go for it and you start building for the future, because this team cannot go in the middle. I think that the way we've done it the last 2 or 3 years, we cannot go there. We either go all in or we go reconstruction and try to build with the younger guys for the future.
I agree with you, Oscar, but I also don't want to hear this on social media, since you guys are social media gurus. I do not want to hear one person tweet about Arun Escobar or Eduardo Tights stats that these guys rate.
Yeah, or Aiden Miller is gone. I mean, look, look, we won those guys. We won everything, right? We won the what's a saying? You won everything on the cake. Too. You know more English than I do.
Have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the reality is that you have to give up on something. Yep. And if we want to go all out, look, the window is there. The window with Schwarber, with Harper, with Turner, with Wheeler. And by the way, the window of Wheeler is maybe he pitches one more year. I mean, we're not going to have the best pitcher in baseball together with Scooble for too much of a long time. I mean, the window is there. The window is there. The question in the past, Dombrowski have gone out and find a way. I don't know.
I mean, Dombrowski he has to get creative here and walk that line, right? I mean, everybody wants to go all in until we look at what we have to give up. Right. So it's like, let's go all in. The window's open. Let's go. And it's like, well, do you want to trade Andrew Painter? Nope. Do you want to trade Crawford? No. Do you want to trade Miller? No. Well, that's what going all in looks like. It's taking those guys, shipping them out, and taking a shot this year. And it depends. Do you believe in this team this year? I don't know if I
think the lineup needs changes. You cannot continue with this lineup with hero ball. You're going to have to, I mean, what's our production in center field and in left field? It's nil. I mean, we're not producing the way we need to produce. And next week we're going to have a special program talking about our minor league system, the players that we have, and we're also going to be including the trading deadline. We're going to talk about those guys because I think they both come together. There is no doubt, and my kudos goes to Dave Dombrowski, to Mattingly, and everyone in the Phillies staff that have built a minor league system. We have a much stronger minor league system than we had 4 or 5 years ago, and it's kudos to them for being able to build it. Now you're going to have some very, very difficult questions you're going to have to answer moving forward.
I think the other issue is too, like adding on to John's point, do you really want to trade Andrew Painter for not a rental, but a guy that's under control for a year and a half, 2 years, but you're really not sure what that guy is? Like Emmanuel Clase, I'm sure what he is. I think that's a good move. But what about, and look, I'm just throwing names out there, Mauricio Suarez. Like, do you really want to get a guy like him where I know he can mash home runs, but can people take the 180, 190 batting average? I don't know.
Baseball is a different game right now than it was before. But I do believe in balance. You need to have a balanced lineup. And I don't think this lineup, again, too much hero ball. Kyle, give us your thoughts in general about how you see. Let's talk about the hitting and the lineup and all that.
Well, it's funny. We talk about hero ball, and they do have guys who in the past have been able to give you that. that just aren't giving it to you the same way, right? Nick Castellanos was brought in after a 35-plus homer season. He's not really that guy. He's been hitting a lot of extra base hits lately, but at the same time, you had Harper out of the lineup, Schwarber cooled down a bit, and Turner, for whatever reason, can't hit a home run at home. So there's this balance where they can't seem to all be doing it at once. Like, Jeff, I see you tweet all the time about how hot JT has been, but it's mostly singles. How hot Brandon Marsh has been. It's mostly
double.
singles.
Give him some credit, man. He get a double today.
True. Recently, this past
Kyle's
week,
right,
three
though.
doubles. But
It's true. I agree 100%.
he's hitting like 330, and he has like 6 extra base hits out of 28 over the last few weeks. It is a team that is lacking thump outside of when those guys are going well. They asked Trey Turner to change his approach, and he's done so, but it resulted in one less bat that can give you that thump when you need it. They asked everybody to be more patient, and it's almost like they've all become too patient and too passive. I do like that Nick's numbers have jumped up since June. He's around 50% extra base hits. He was around 30% earlier in the season. But when you have Schwarber slowing down, Turner slowing down, and Harper out of the lineup, those doubles aren't as effective, especially when it's guys behind him just walking behind him and not, again, delivering that really big punch that you need in situations like this.
Yeah, Kyle's dead on. About the change in approach for Turner. He's doing what was asked of him. I mean, Thompson told him, "I want to see you hit close to 300, steal 40 bases, be that sort of spark plug type of player." And he's doing it. He's doing what was asked of him. Unfortunately, at the same time he's doing that, you've got this power outage from guys like Castellanos that you think would provide the power. I mean, the idea was always, we need them to change their approach. I think, Oscar, you showed a slide earlier on in the show here that said, the strikeout percentage is not too bad. Walk percentage is pretty good. These are things we wanted to see more of from these guys. But now they're doing that, but they're not hitting the home runs. So I don't know what you do from
Castellanos. I mean, when I look at Castellanos, he's kind of where this team is. Oops, sorry, my bad. Where his team is, where is a team that, I mean, when Castellanos goes out there, he goes to hack no matter what. The first pitch, I mean, you see most of the time hitting, kind of going with the first pitch. I mean, but this is kind of where this lineup is. Like, we're striking out at 20.9%. The average in MLB is 22, so we're below the average at 10. We're 10th in baseball. 9.1% based on balls was very good, but it's primarily skewed toward Harper and Schwarber that has the biggest percentage of bases on balls. The guys that are on the bottom of the order, they don't get on base through base on balls enough. Neither is Trey Turner. That's not his. Trey Turner right now, his average is 6.8%. The average in MLB is 8.2. When you look at guys like, for example, just looking at some of the percentage here, JT Realmuto, 7.3, again, below the percentage in average. Nick Castellanos, 5.2. I mean, he goes out there to hack. And the reality is, if you don't hit it in the right place, I mean, what happened? We had, I think it was yesterday, that we had the bases loaded with 1 out. Nick Castellanos goes to bat, a ground ball toward the pitcher, out at home. And then Kepler goes out and hits a pop fly to the shortstop, and the game is over. Look, you have to produce. When you have a runner at third and you have 1 out, no matter what, you have to produce. I mean, that is the reality. You don't have the luxury of not being able to score those runs, because in the inning after that, I mean, in the bottom of the inning, they scored runs against us when we have the bases loaded.
It just seems to be a lost art. This runner on third, less than 2 outs. I remember that. I don't know. Maybe my memory is skewed. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it used to feel like that was pretty much automatic that you were going to get that runner home. It was a huge disappointment if you did not. And this team, you don't feel like you're pleasantly surprised anytime they can get a runner home.
And look at the chase rate at 29.3%. The average in MLB is 28. So we're chasing too much, which is kind of a fault that we have known for the last 3 years, that we chase too much. We're 24th in baseball, and then in whiff rate we're at 25%. So we just need to do a better job. Harper did not have the best of the half season. A lot of injuries, a lot of nagging things here and there. He did not have the first the best season. Schwarber had a great first half. I mean, 30 home runs, 69 RBIs. He strikes out more than what we all want, but he's home run, strikeout, or base on ball. There's one thing when I remember last year, one thing that Schwarber, and I love the term when you ask him, why have you been so successful hitting against left-handed pitching? He said he used the word survival. I think a lot of our batters need to go out there to the plate with a survival mentality or life or death, or we're going to lose the game. And I like the way Schwarber goes. But one thing that I've seen on Schwarber, I like when he was hitting a lot more base hits. We've seen a lot of less base hit, and we see either the strikeout, the home run, or the base on balls.
But I think he's probably pressuring himself to hit those home runs because no one else on this team can hit them right now.
Hero ball.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're dead on, Oscar. But also, yeah, I mean, Schwarber, he's the best they got.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Alec Bohm has looked better. I mean, we hope he feels better from that ball that got his ribs. I mean, he was out of the lineup today. Nick, any thoughts with regards to our hitting and kind of where you see where we are?
Man, he talked about the power outage earlier, and I know Bryce has been hurt, but I think his power outage is affecting everybody else because earlier he said Trey Turner, I think, is having a great year, all things considered, offensively. Even defensively, he's actually been a lot better than what we've seen. But I think he's setting a table for the rest of the lineup, and it's just they're not coming through during the situations in which they need to come through. We're scoring bunches of runs here and there, and people are saying, see, our offense is good. But then for me, a good offense is, and I hate to do this, but I see the Mets, they have clutch hits. They have clutch at bats to where you think, oh, they're going to lose the game. And then it helps them come back.
I mean, today McNeil hit a triple. He hit a triple to drive in one run. They were losing 2-0 in the top of the ninth inning. They scored 2 runs. And then in the bottom of the inning, I mean, Kansas City scored the run, and they won. They were behind yesterday. They scored the run. I mean, and I'm not saying the Mets lineup is significantly better than the Phillies.
I don't think so either.
It's probably a little bit more balanced in terms of what Lindor offers, what Soto offers, and what Alonso offers in the top 3. But they don't have the starts like Schwarber and Harper that potentially we have. I mean, we know what Soto is. I mean, a lot of base on balls and a lot of base hits, doubles. I mean, he's a really, really good hitter. I don't know if I would have paid them all the money that they pay him, but
and they had a comeback against the Orioles earlier this week. They lost a doubleheader after that, but those are just kind of what I'm looking for from this Phillies lineup. But those just clutch hits that can score a run. You might need 2 runs, but you can score 1 run in 1 inning and then 1 run the next, or 1 run every 3 innings. Just stuff like that where they build off of it. And it seems like if they don't get it, they just wait for the next inning, and then it doesn't happen. Then they wait for the next inning. Luckily today, it kind of worked out. JT getting that hit in the 8th inning. I don't think anybody expected that we were going to see that. But I want to see more of that. And I don't think we've seen enough of that this year.
Yeah. One thing that, I mean, to me, what are the things that this lineup needs to do? We need better contact, and we need to do much better with runners in a scoring position. Even though our OPS and our average is there, we need to do a much better job of moving runners and finding a way to score runs and not just depend on the big home runs, because we are in the middle of the pack in hitting home runs.
Well, how about this? What if I told you there was a guy in AAA who excels at making contact and excels with runners in scoring position, and he can play the outfield? What do we think about Justin Crawford? Time to bring him up?
I'm starting to think if he does come up, it'll probably be after this break. I mean, he's been in a little funk, but I think that's more of the grind of the first half than anything else, kind of like this team.
I saw the Painter game on Monday, and I saw Crawford hit. I mean, I don't know, a lot of ground balls. I mean, I'm not seeing enough. Look, the guy gets on base. The numbers are there, right? 403 on base percentage is a great number. I'm not saying yes or no to that yet. I mean, I don't know if he's the solution at the end of the day. I mean, are we going to put too much pressure on the kid that he's going to? I mean, the kid is talented, and we know that if he comes to and he's still after the trading deadline, he's still with the Phillies.
You know what, Oscar? You're worried about pressure. I say that's an us problem. That's a fan problem. That's a reporter problem. That's not a Justin Crawford or a Phillies problem. You know, that's what I get tired of. They go, none of these prospects. I get tired of it. None of these prospects ever do well. Well, I guess they don't do well because you write off them a month into their careers.
It comes up, he goes 0 for 4, and we all hate him. But
yeah, exactly.
He does seem to be.
Yeah, he needs to go down after going 0 for 4 in the first.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like people are writing off Otto Kemp already.
No, nobody's writing off. I do believe this team is a. We're trying to. This team, if it's going all in, needs to go for the World Series, and Justin Crawford could be a potential piece of it. It might not be. I'm just saying we need better quality at bats, and we're not getting quality at bats from the left field and in center field. I mean, if you look at the two positions, and I don't disagree with Kyle what was saying. I mean, until the last 2-3 weeks, it was the catching position that we were not producing, but we know what JT is capable of doing, and you saw it there in the 7th inning when he got Tatis out at second base. I mean, he had that base stolen. I mean, like I said, oh my God, we're gonna have a Tatis in second base. Look, that was an unbelievable throw by JT Realmuto that got that go out, and a great tag by Turner. But the reality, when I hear the names of Kwan, for example, I would love to have Kwan in this lineup and be our leadoff hitter. That's a real Major League Baseball leadoff hitter. Can Justin Crawford be a leadoff hitter in major leagues? I don't know. I don't know 100. I don't know 100% that.
Yeah, I don't think you see Crawford until they make a decision on whether he's going to be included in a deal at the deadline or not. I don't think they call him up to see what he has the next couple of weeks and then decide. It wouldn't impact his value either way. He's so young, but I think that they see if they can get a package for him, or a package including him. And if that doesn't come to fruition, then all right, hey, what do we have to lose? When it comes to Rojas, he's a above average defender. Maybe doesn't always make the best reads, but his athleticism makes up for it. He'll go after every ball and give every single ball a chance. If he was the only hole on your roster, you live with that. I remember there was a day in the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s, where like your shortstop and center fielder weren't necessarily great hitters because you were worried about defense first. If they could pull that off, and Stott was giving you Gold Glove level second base, and Johan Rojas was giving you stellar center field, and everybody else was hitting, you live with that. But when you have 4 positions at once and the guy who glues it all together out of the lineup for an extended period of time, it's really tough to live with that over and over again. And maybe Rojas was rushed, just like people are worried about them doing with Crawford. Maybe he wasn't ready from the hip perspective, and they just went with it because that had been a hole for them for so long. But clearly he's not a major league ready bat. If he's your only problem, you live with it, but he's not.
Look, to me, when you look at a team like the Milwaukee Brewers, what did the Milwaukee Brewers came to do in Citizens Bank Park? They swept us. But beyond that, it's how they manufacture runs. They created the concept that everybody is working together as a unit to find ways to create runs. They bunt the ball, they steal bases, they find a way. When I look at the bottom of their order, they're not producing enough. We need better productions. And I'm not asking for home runs. I'm asking for contact. I'm asking for moving runners. I mean, how difficult it is if you have a runner in first base and no outs, or in second base with no outs, that you have to hit to the right side so you can advance the runner to third base.
But it comes back to the problem from the beginning of the season when I basically said, look, you're going to find out a lot about 2 guys on this team, Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh, where the Phillies have a second baseman and where they have a center field. I think we know the answer with Marsh. I think we know the answer with Stott, too.
Look, there was a base hit yesterday. The base hit that won the game, there was a base hit yesterday that won the game when we were ahead on the score that Mundito Sosa got that base hit. There was a base hit to center field. I think Tatis or somebody was running from second to home plate. March was playing too far behind to be able. He was playing center field too far back to be able to have any chance at home plate. when he got the ball, there was absolutely no chance to throw the home plate and get an out. Somehow we need to play smarter baseball and smarter. I look at the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers have the same record we have right now. Same
Oscar,
record.
I think you got to take a look at it. At a certain point, you just say these guys are not capable of it. We've been watching.
Well, find guys that are
now.
capable of.
Smart baseball is
But where are you going to find them? That's the question.
Well, that's a question. I mean,
that is the question. That's a question for Dave.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we believe in this window or don't believe in this window?
I believe
You
the
need to
starting
add to
pitching-
it, but you have to believe in it. The starting
Yeah.
pitching is the best in the league. It's so top heavy. Dave said this already, and I think it's very realistic that you're going to use some of those arms in the bullpen. That bullpen, it's going to be a struggle to get there, even if they add. But once you're in that postseason and you have Luzardo coming out of the pen throwing 99 with movement up in your face, after having to face Zach Wheeler for 7 innings, it changes the dynamic for sure. But you have to get there, and you have to put yourself in a position where you can succeed with that group. If you don't survive the season and set yourself up for that success in the postseason by mixing and matching people in different roles,
and that's the other thing too, Kyle.
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the other thing, Kyle, to add to your point. Like, everybody goes, well, who cares if they win the division? I'm like, well, if they don't win the division, they would have been the second wild card. I think I'd rather see them win the division, have some time off, or if they do have to play that wild card series, they're home. And then, like you said, then your point comes across where, okay, you got Jesus Luzardo in the bullpen. You got this awesome starting rotation. I'll still take this team in a 3 or 5 game series, even with the problems they have right now.
Yeah, I mean, the pitching's going to give them a chance no matter what. I mean, you go into any series. I remember, earlier in this era, we used to think just get in, and then Wheeler and Nola will give you a chance, right? And then they did. They rode that in 2022 all the way to the World Series. So I think if you get in, your starting pitching is going to give you a chance. I think, yeah, Kyle makes an excellent point that you can shift some of your talent at starter to reliever. Maybe that helps solve some of that problem. That's why I'm more worried about. I mean, obviously, we're all worried about both the bullpen.
But you need somebody
and
that closes
I'm
games.
much more worried about the
You
offense.
need somebody closing games, John. I mean, right now we don't have. I mean, do we have? Look, Kerr is a tremendous arm and a very valuable arm, and I love when they put him against, like in the 7th inning or the 8th inning, or it could be in the 9th inning, that you have the top of the order like you had today. But you need more experience in the back. If you're going to make a postseason run, you're going to have a couple arms that have the experience to close games in big games. And I know I'm going to use the name Chapman, but Chapman is not going to be because the Red Sox are the first wild card right now. But you're going to need some people that have had the experience there in key moments to be able to be effective. If not, we're gonna count again our prayers. I mean, trying to close the game at the end.
You don't believe in Tanner Banks closing out Game 7 of the World Series?
Look, I admire. Look, and going to pitching here. I mean, this is kind of where we are. We have the best staff in all of baseball. 3.25 ERA. I did this last night, so some of the numbers might be off. Look, we allowed 1 run today, right? So this number went down even further than 3.25. So we have the best starting staff in baseball. But look, 4.40, 24th with our ERA from the bullpen, and then look, we've gotten down. We were like 3-1 or 1-3 in chance opportunities here to save games. Now we're down to 6. And in save, we're number 9 in baseball right now in terms of total saves. So, look, we're going to have to bring a couple arms out there that can support the Kerrings, the Stroms, and the Banks of this world so they can truly help us kind of win a World Series, because at the end of the day, that is the objective. We're going to make it to the postseason. We're going to need some arms to help us get it through. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind about that. And I know that Arizona is going out there and offering to trade guys. I know they don't have the bullpen help that we probably need. The Orioles do have certain. I mean, I love Kittredge. I love that guy. Sir Anthony's pitching. He's not allowed to run, or he's allowed 1 run in the last 18 games. I mean, Sir Anthony changed his entire way of pitching. His
delivery's different too.
Yeah. What was that?
His delivery's different.
Yeah. He's throwing his splitters. He's throwing more four seamers. He's throwing a lot more. He's throwing a sweeper versus the slider he was throwing before. I mean, he's pitching really good baseball right now. And I'm not saying that we need to reacquire. I really like the guy. He's a wonderful guy. But Kittredge is a guy that is proven. He pitches St. Louis. He's pitching big games. I love the guy. I think he would be a tremendous asset. And I know it's just not us. There are probably 7 teams in line to saying, okay, who are you going to give me? Because everybody's thirsty for quality relief pitching.
Oscar, here's one too. Look, I know Gage Wood just got drafted here, right? I know it's rare for draft picks to come to the majors right away. I mean, Aaron Nola's came a year after, but Gage Wood can throw 99 to 100. Look, if he does well in August, wherever they put him, and I'm sure they'll put him in the lower level, I don't see him coming. But
Nick is ready. Nick, you're ready for those sweets, man. Get ready.
If he's far, look, I'm just saying, if he's dealing and he's only throwing an inning, they did it with Kerr 2 years ago. They can certainly do it with this guy.
Good.
What do you guys think of Jeff? I don't think that's going to happen. I like where your head's at. Get creative.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying I've seen teams do this.
But what would you guys? How would you guys feel? It's August 1st. The deadline, the dust settles. All the deals are in. Everything's been processed, and the Phillies don't acquire Chapman or Duran or Clase, but they've added 3 guys who can be added to that mix that Thompson likes to use, where he doesn't have a set closer, but he has 3 guys added to that mix who have pitched in big innings, maybe not the 9th per se, but adds it to Strom, to a returning Alvarado. And now all of a sudden, Jordan Romano's your mop-up guy instead of one of the guys in the mix. Are you satisfied with that, or is it
Yes.
It doesn't even have to be a big-ticket name, but give me a guy who pitches in the 9th or give me nothing.
Well, here's one too. You got to think of this, and maybe it's because I talked to enough guys in this bullpen. But how many guys in this bullpen get hot, warm up, and then they don't pitch? So that's big too.
I agree with you. I think Kerr, his sweeper was off today because he's not pitching a few days, and that is a problem.
I think just circling back to Kyle's question, I would hate that, honestly. I see the logic, but it's also what they've been trying to do with this mix and match. To me, the 9th inning is a different beast. You need somebody with the right mentality. I think it helps the entire team to just know this guy has the 9th locked down. Do all the mix and match, do all that stuff. Play the matchups, 6th, 7th, 8th. Love it. But I think you need that 9th inning guy. And if you don't get him and you just bring in a collection of pretty good arms, I don't know. I just feel like I've seen that movie before.
I think if you don't bring a 9th inning guy, I mean, you need 2 pitchers here. A guy, and I'm not saying that he needs to pitch every game the 9th inning. Somebody that can close games. You need support. I mean, Kerr can close games. Strom can close games. I mean, but it's not easy, guys. It's not easy. I mean, this is it requires. I mean, Kerr is what, in his 3rd year in baseball. I mean, this is his 2nd full season. I mean, it's going to require time for him to continue to grow into the best version of Kerr. I think this is the future closer of this team for many, many years to come. But he needs support. He cannot do it by himself.
I agree. And look, I think right now the best version of this bullpen would be you have Strom pitch the 6th or 7th, play that hybrid role he used to pitch, Kerr in the 8th, and then that high leverage guy in the 9th. But like what Kyle said, they added 3 guys and mix and match them with Kerr, who is pitching a lot and is still learning how to do that. You might be okay.
I don't know. I do think add 3 guys, add 1 guy you can absolutely count on no matter what in the 9th inning, and then add to it. I mean, that's if you want to go for it. If this is a year that you believe in the team and you think you're close enough, and with the starting pitching, that's absolutely reasonable, then go for it and get the guy this time. Don't try to get the Romano coming back off of injury, or we can get a discount. It's going to sound like an overpay, whatever happens. If you go and get the guy you want, everyone's going to say you overpaid because it's what the price is. There's more.
They overpaid for Estevez last year, we're being honest.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. I mean,
probably
and look, John,
But he was really
like,
effective.
Yeah.
I mean, like outside of 6 pitches, they just happened to be in the postseason. But the guy was really effective down the stretch for them. Basically turned into that closer. When they've had somebody rise to the top, Rob's been willing to make that adjustment. You saw it with Craig Kimbrell 2 years ago. You saw it with Estevez last year. Maybe Kirk Ring's there, but
by the way,
Yeah,
he allowed the 2 runs to the Mets today in the 9th inning, and ended up winning the game at the end in the bottom of the 9th. So, I mean, Lindor hits him a grand slam to kill all our playoff aspirations. He allowed 2 runs. Bad. No bueno, man.
You're right. But ultimately, like if Kirk Ring does rise to that and they put people behind him and just say, Orion, the 9th is yours, I'm comfortable if they get other high leverage guys. But I do agree that for whatever reason, the 9th inning shouldn't make a difference. It should be when the toughest or most high pressured moment of the game is, right? There's so many more times where a 7th inning is more challenging than a 9th inning on paper. But for whatever reason, that 9th inning is different for these guys, whether they admit it or not. We've seen it too many times on the Phillies and other teams where the 9th inning is just a different animal and you have to have a different mindset, a different energy walking out there. And Kirk Ring's developing it. But if they don't feel he's quite there yet, I agree with you guys. I was just throwing that question out there. I think they need a guy who's going to be that back end, the guy that everybody else looks to.
He just has to pass the test. Like, can you imagine Game 7 of the World Series, 9th inning, 2-1 game? Because it's going to be some low score. If the Phillies get there, it's going to be some low scoring games. The starters being dominant. Who can you imagine out there to close it out in the 9th and feel good about it? I don't think he's on the team right now.
The only guy on the team is the guy who's on the screen right now that I would feel comfortable with in that situation.
Me too. Sorry, I took him out because
That's all right.
I just saw that a lot of our friends are putting messages out there, and I just wanted to acknowledge John needs to reboot. How about that?
Whoa!
No, reboot the computer so he can have his audio off. Come on. Why is Painter untouchable? Because he's gonna be a stud. He just needs time in the open.
Please stop looking at minor league stats when looking at pitchers. I'm begging you, please don't do it.
If Crawford is up before the deadline, I think he's traded. Look, he's one of the options here. So
great, but I just don't want to see him hitting 340 in AAA for the rest of the year for no reason. So if you believe in him, call him up. If you don't believe in him, then trade him.
We need to bring Phillies and Eagles into one of the shows here. 2-4 road trip is not bad considering the circumstances.
He's not wrong.
Wait, what circumstances, dude?
The circumstances of the West Coast, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's true. Here, Darwin says we have to guarantee a closer. We can go on with the same. We cannot go on with the same relievers. Look like where we are, but the closer is a must.
I don't disagree. I don't.
I agree.
If you could get someone that lessens the pressure on everyone else, I think that makes a huge difference. I think it would make a lot of the other guys better too. Same with like if you get that one bat, it relieves the pressure for everyone. So I know it's tougher.
Sorry,
it's tough, but I mean, I think that's the best outcome.
Here's what scares everybody: we have to give a tier 1 prospect and a tier 2 prospect for a closer. Look, Dave Dombrowski have done this in the past. He's done this in the past. He's built World Series winners, and he has not. I mean, he's gone all out and given what he needs to be given. So look, but it's tough. It's not a. I mean, Alex is saying Clase from the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, we've seen the rumors out there. Look, everybody would love to have Clase here. I mean, the guy throws 100 miles an hour.
I'm sure 10 other teams would like to have him too.
Exactly. So the question is, what are you willing to give up? I mean, and this is the tough part that we need to navigate.
It's so tough because it really feels like the franchise is at a crossroads, right? Like you've got your veterans aging out. You don't have much Wheeler left. Harper, Turner, they're going to still contribute down the line. But do you feel like this is championship year? Flags fly forever, etc. Go for it, or do you hang on to those young guys? And do you think that maybe the next championship squad is Painter, Abel, Crawford, Miller? I don't know, but I'm sure they're having those discussions.
Look, there's a song in Spanish called Decisions, We should put in Rubén Blades, one of the best salsa singers of all times. He actually went to Harvard to study at Harvard, and he's a salsa singer. He's one of the best in the world. He's called Decisions, and we are in that precise moment where, I mean, Dave Dombrowski, I told her, I don't want Dave's job, man. It's the toughest job. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and he has one of the toughest jobs. Let's change subjects here. Let's talk about the All-Star game. I mean, this. I mean, I know, Nick. This is where your expertise is going to play here. What's going to happen here? So Schwarber and Wheeler are selected in the initial team to go to the All-Star. Christopher Sanchez was not selected. Ranger Suarez was not selected. And I think in that order, they both deserve to be in the All-Star game. So basically, look at the names here. Adam, which is we saw him pitching yesterday, and we almost beat him. We couldn't. That's who Castellanos hit the ground ball to, and there was the out at home. You have Boyd, that has been doing a very, very good job with Chicago. You have Edwin Diaz here. You have Mackenzie Gore. They need to bring a player from every team, which makes it very, very challenging. But I can tell you right now, I mean, Christopher Sanchez is better than all these guys. I mean,
agree.
Kershaw, the commissioner, is bringing him up. Freddie Peralta probably is comparable to Christopher Sanchez. Chris Sale is hurt. Skeens, I mean, we know what Skeens is. You have Logan Webb, which is a tremendous arm with San Francisco. And then you have Yamamoto. Yamamoto pitched today, didn't he? I believe
pitch
Yamamoto.
Today?
Well, I know we're going to see who pitched today. I don't know if any one of you can, I mean, maybe Cal, can you help me see if any of these guys pitched today? I thought Yamamoto was pitching today.
Yeah, let me check the phone, Oscar. I have the score sheet up. Let's look at today's stats here. Did Yamamoto pitch?
And then let's look at a couple of sheets, because I'm going to show you a comparison. This is the American League. You have Hunter Brown, I know, pitched today, and he was selected. So he's not pitching on Tuesday. So here's what I don't understand.
Yamamoto started. Yeah, he pitched 7
Yamamoto and Hunter Brown starter. They were selected initially to the All-Star game. They're not pitching on Tuesday. So they call Ranger Suarez. And here's the part that MLB, I'm sorry, with all due respect to all the MLB guys, they decided to call Ranger Suarez. And they said, hey, Ranger, if you give us an inning, we make you an All-Star.
That's BS.
If you're not willing to pitch, then you don't come to the All-Star game. I mean, look, if you call him, it's because he's an All-Star and he deserves to be an All-Star. If he cannot pitch, it's a different way. So you have to start with this tier 1 pitchers, and then you need to go to the tier 2 pitchers that deserve to be in the All-Star game, and then the tier 3 until you can find whomever. But those tier 2, you make them All-Stars because they deserve it.
What bothers me is Jacob Mizorowski going, and he's only made 5 starts. Like, come on.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So I put this beauty for you guys together. So Wheeler decides not to pitch. Look, Wheels decide whatever Wheels decide, we'll give him because of the quality of pitcher he is. But I didn't like the fact that Skeens was selected, and I heard through the grapevine that Roberts was thinking about Kershaw because he was a commissioner. Look, whomever is the best pitcher in baseball deserves to be the starters. And I'm telling you the following. Zach Wheeler is a better pitcher this year than Skeens. Skeens has a better ERA, but Zach Wheeler has more wins. He has a better whip. He has a better strikeout percentage. I mean, Zach Wheeler is the best pitcher in baseball in the National League this year. I mean, and he deserves to be the starter in the National League. I just wanted to convey that. I don't know the reasons. I mean, and I know he wanted to rest. I give him kudos. I mean, Zach Wheeler, in my opinion, is the best pitcher in baseball, ahead of Escobar. If I have a 7th game of a World Series, Zach Wheeler is my starter. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
Let's not forget the lowest postseason whip of all time, Zach Wheeler, all time. Anyway, this
he needs to. MLB needs to respect the type of pitcher that we have here. Sorry, John.
No, it's okay. I don't understand what the league is trying to do here. You know, you go to somebody like Ranger Suarez and say you got to give us an inning, then he's penalized for doing what's best for his team, what's best for the rest of his season. He's saying, I'm going to take the rest, but he should still get the honor. You should look at the stats.
Kyle, what do you think?
There is no guarantee that everybody gets in the game.
Yeah,
There's not enough time. There's too many people. You can't ask the guy to guarantee that he'll give you an inning when you don't even know if he's going to get in.
Yeah, but why are you giving him an opportunity to be an all-star if he's going to play or not? If you're calling him, you need to give him. I mean, Rangers should be an all-star, and Christopher Sanchez should be an all-star.
Just name him. Exactly. Just name him an all-star and let him make that call.
And then I think what gets lost in the shuffle.
I know I'm yelling.
A lot of people are just when you hear about the All-Star game, who cares? It's an exhibition anyway. This stuff matters for
it does matter.
Bonuses and very cool of the Phillies to pay off.
So the first one.
Perfect example, guys. I'm just going to bring out my point here. I was in Cooperstown this week, right? What does it say on those plaques? X-time All-Star. If Christopher Sanchez has to go for a Hall of Fame vote in 10 years, say he just dominates the next 10 years, and he only made the All-Star game 4 times because of this BS. Like, I'm tired of hearing with Jimmy Rollins' Hall of Fame case, well, if he was so good, he would have made the All-Star game more than 3 times. He should have been an All-Star the year he won MVP. He should have been an All-Star like 5 more times, and they screwed him. And I'm just tired of no one knows who Christopher Sanchez is. Why is that our fault? I'm tired of this. Like, Major League Baseball, market your players better.
And one way people would know him better is if you sent him to the All-Star game.
Thank you.
And you had the analysts who do know the game and know him talk about him, whether he appears in the game or not. But if you show him on the sideline while Schwarber's up there, they always show guys' teammates who joined. If you're talking about this guy at all on this stage, that's how people get to know him. He earned it. You clearly think he earned it because you called him to ask if he would play. Instead, just say, hey, man, you made the game. Congratulations. Let us know if you're going to attend. And if not, we'll go to the next guy.
And then the next guy, they go to five major league games. I mean, come on.
I'm so happy the guy can throw 103. Congrats. I'm sorry.
Did he have like an all-star thing in his contract? Maybe.
Right. How in the world can David? And sorry, Nick, I'll let you speak in 1 second. Let me just show you this. How in the world David Peralta and Jacob M. With all due respect, and I don't have anything against the kid, and he has 5 games. 5 games, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 games. How in the world can that guy be an all-star?
And look, it's ridiculous. He's going to be good. Like, he's already good, but he's not an all-star. I mean, it's BS. Like, I'm still a little upset Skeens started the all-star game last year, and then people go, well, Ranger Suarez can't make the all-star game because he started too late. Well, so did Paul Skeens. So what's your point?
I mean, 7-2, 7-3, 259, 194 ERA. 194, 281,
it's the best ERA in baseball since May 6th.
I mean, look at the ERA plus 165, 221, 145, and 125. I mean,
it's ridiculous. The reason the Phillies are in first place is because of this rotation. It's because of Sanchez, Suarez, and Wheeler who made it. But now you've got a team, you've got a first place team, and the only representative that's actually going to be present is Kyle Schwarber, one guy.
Yeah. It's weird.
Nick, it's your stage, man. Tell us what you think of all this whole drama. I mean, you're the expert in bringing the heat on, so it's your time. It's your turn.
No, echoing John. I didn't really care about this stuff in the past, but like the last few years, you're like, okay, when they tie in money and bonus money in their contracts for an all-star nod, then I think it matters a little bit more, especially to the players. So I don't think anyone that says, oh, I don't care about this, I don't take them as seriously anymore because, yeah, if you're messing with their money and if it's predicated on being named an all-star, just name them the all-star, even if you're sure that they're not going to come or if they're going to, decline it. Then they still get that bonus. The Phillies gave Christopher Sanchez that bonus. I don't know if Ranger has one. I don't know if I missed anything. If they're going to give him a bonus.
Kudos to the Phillies for doing that. That is a class act doing that thing. So kudos to the Phillies organization.
And it made all the haters mad. So
yeah, it did. What's mad, Nick? I know this is your wheelhouse. Dealing with Mets fans who are actually trying to convince themselves David Pearson is better than Christopher Sanchez.
I mean, they don't watch baseball, so
They clearly
they
don't.
just watch the Mets.
Did you know the Mets had? Oh, the Mets had more significant injuries than the Phillies. I was told that today. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yes, the Mets had a lot of injuries, but the Mets did not lose Juan Soto.
Well,
come on,
somebody
Phillies didn't have
called
Bryce
the-
Harper for a long time.
Somebody called the All-Star game the Savannah Bananas. So
you know what? I think Nick's onto something. I think the Major League All-Stars should get a team and play the Bananas, and they can play one game. You can play like 4 or 5 innings regular, and then play 4 or 5 innings banana ball and call it a day.
Man, don't
I
even
would watch
joke.
that.
We're
I
probably
would
like 2
too.
years away. It's going to happen.
So
If it
I
gets to be
love
first,
I love
we'll do
Ramuto. Look, Ramuto is such a special guy, man. He said that's just how MLB does it now. So opening the door, nothing against the Misorowski kid, but those two, Sanchez and Suarez, are deserving of being in the team in the first place. There is no doubt. So I love how JT manages in a very polite way, but says it the way he needs to say it. Trey Turner said, "What a joke! That is f terrible." That's not. It's not the All-Star game in the sense that the best players go there or people who have had their best seasons. It's whatever sells them most tickets or have been put up on social media the most. That's essentially what it turns out to be. I'm telling you.
When the All-Stars were named last week, I was talking to a couple players in the clubhouse, and we all looked at Sanchez and were like, that guy should have made it right there. And everybody nodded, including the guy in this photo to his right.
So just because Christopher Sanchez, through today, he's not an All-Star. That is the most ridiculous statement I've ever seen. To me, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, you can get selected to the game and not pitch. It's fine. Like it's like what Kyle said. There's no guarantee you even pitch in the game.
It's ridiculous. Kyle, you want something to say? He went mute.
Just to add on what Jeff said, like they try and get guys in more often now, which is great. But like, dudes used to go 4, 5, 6 innings in an All-Star game, and like, okay, if you don't get in, oh well, at least you got a fun trip. You got to experience it now, and I think it's cool that they try and get everybody in. You know, if you're going to make the trip, let's get you in the game. But there's still no guarantee. Somebody always gets saved for the end.
I believe in '99, Kyle, Kurt Schilling and Paul Bird were selected. There were 3 All-Stars and 2 were pitchers. And I remember Kurt started because everybody remembers what Pedro did. But Kurt started. I don't remember if Paul Bird got in that game, but he got picked.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. I know Lieberthal played because he had a really good year in
Right.
that.
And this just illustrates nobody remembers what happens in the actual games for the most part. Some of them are special and they stand out, but you do, when you have these arguments down the line, who's a Hall of Famer, who's not a Hall of Famer, who was this guy better than that guy, people look at All-Star selections, and it's ridiculous that these guys don't get that honor.
And it's crazy, right? We talk about guys who don't make the All-Star game. Like, there were 2 noble MVPs, and I mentioned one, Jimmy Rollins. Chipper Jones was another one. Had one of the best years ever for a baseball player, did not make his All-Star game that year in 1999, and he won MVP. I don't know. I still don't know. Oh, by the way, he played for a team that was loaded in the Braves. So I'm curious how he didn't make it.
Unbelievable, guys. Look, let's the other thing, look, with Turner, I would understand it a little bit better because he has Eli de la Cruz, which has 60 RBIs. I don't know how many home runs. This was even last week when I saw him.
I think he has 19 home runs, Oscar.
Yeah, 19 home runs, 60 RBIs. The guy's a stud. And Lindor, I put the comparison between Lindor and Turner, and Lindor, the numbers for Lindor look better than Turner.
Yeah.
So
and Lindor got voted in anyway, so I'm not even going to.
That's true. That is a true statement. So let's turn into this part of the show. Let's talk about trying to make it a little bit more fun. And I ask you guys to think a little bit about the most memorable parts of the first half. There are some things that are given milestones, like the 300th home run for Schwarber, the 1,000 RBI. I love to put all the highlights, Nick, here, but we would get booted out. We do put the highlights. But so I put the images. This is from the Phillies and from MLB. And then Wheeler, my only put out there for what Wheeler did in that game was really, really unbelievable. 9 innings, that 1 run, which was a home run, 0 base on balls, and 12 strikeouts. That to me was one of the most special games of the season. Give me your kind of the most special or the most memorable moments of the season. And it's not valid to put the home run by the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, I mean, the Wheeler's performance in that game was just special, and it was by far the most memorable game of the first half. I mean, just one pitch away from perfection. You can't top that. Great, 300 home runs. You got the 1,000 RBI. That's fantastic. You can't top Wheeler, and I do think there's been a little bit of a lack of memorable moments. I think that's one of the reasons why people aren't super excited about this team. You're not seeing walk-off home runs and all sorts of fun stuff. Like compared to last season, I would say you'd have like 10, 11 moments to choose from. But
I think we've had, and I don't know, and I searched it, and it was AI, the one that told me this, 2 walk-offs this year.
Yeah, it's only 2.
I mean, AI works, guys.
Yeah, so it feels
not
like,
all the time, but
to
yeah.
the extent 2022 was all about magic and the ride and vibes and fun. This is,
I mean,
opposite of
22.
that.
We were lucky. I mean, we were lucky to get into the postseason. I mean, I remember that season, and it was painful. I mean, we lost some major games. I think what was magical was the run. I mean, once that first game in that ninth inning in San Luis started, everything was magical about 2022.
I said, to add to your point, Oscar, about 22. When they got in, I was more happier that they got in than anything else that happened, because it was the first time in 11 years you got to see postseason baseball. You could just tell the relief on a lot of those players' faces.
And that's when they played their best because there was no pressure, right?
Yep. Nothing to lose.
They were just playing with house money and they were rolling through. And yeah, nobody expected anything for them against the Cardinals in the first round. I mean, they had the game on 1 PM on like TBS 8 or whatever it is.
I think it was ESPN 2, but sure.
Then Bohm gets hit by a pitch in the 9th, and there was just something special, and there was magic. And I think when people look at this year's team, there's a lot of talent there, but something just feels not right, and I do think it has to do with the lack of these comebacks and memorable moments.
There's been a lot of frustration even in the wins. Like, perfect example, opening day, right? They can't hit for most of the game. They get home runs from Schwarber. They get home runs from Harper. Kerr had to get 5 outs, which sounds pretty much normal. To get out of the game, he does. Jordan Romano blows it, and they win in the 10th off Alec Bohm's double. But it's just like these whole, even their wins, you're like, you can nitpick them, and you shouldn't, but it's fair.
Nick, anything on you? I mean, the most memorable moments.
I think Zach's complete game is the moment, but I'll say my favorite moment, other than that, was the game against the Athletics where they came back, Kepler's home run, and then Brandon Marsh's throw it home that miraculously got the runner, and then Kyle Schwarber getting that double after. I slept through all that, by the way. I slept.
That game was late.
I
man.
slept right after
was...
the Athletics took the lead 6-5 in the 8th, and I fell asleep. I woke up and I saw it was 9-6, and it was like Kyle Schwarber in the dugout or whatever. So I'm like, okay, what happened? So I rewound it and rewatched everything, and it was just I wish I was like awake for that and like following on Twitter with everybody else, just like getting excited about that. But to me, I mean, that's my favorite moment of the season right now. Just that comeback, and it was against the Athletics, but it was also a game where it's like, oh, they're going to lose because they don't have that clutch gene. And they became clutch. And it's like, okay, maybe this team's different. Then obviously not so much after that, but I still think about that moment. That Marsh throw it home, man.
By the way,
one of the plays of the year. Man.
I agree. And the home run, it was against Mason Miller. The home run by Kepler. Yeah, I was not broadcasting the game, and I'm sitting next to my kid, and he said, "Wow, this guy's throwing 100 miles an hour." And I said, "Well, Kepler is a good fastball hitter." Boom, boom, boom. Like three pitches after, I mean, he hit that huge home run. That's by the way, that is his highlight. of the year.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's the one.
his
That's the-
highlight of the year was probably comments he made a couple weeks ago, unfortunately. But
Well, it's
What about the two guys scoring at once? It was Castellanos. And,
yeah, that was actually
Yeah,
my
that was
pick.
a cool moment.
That was my pick, the whole rookie of the year moment.
memorable.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome, actually. Like,
That was pretty awesome.
you'll see it. It's Major League Rookie of the Year stuff. It's awesome, and the
Yeah, no,
Phillies still use
that's
that on
a-
their social
yeah.
media page.
the two runners. I mean, with Ramuto and Castellanos. I mean, Ramuto touching the feet of Castellanos there. I was like, what's going on here?
I thought for sure one of them was getting thrown out, but JT's absolutely right. We are both were getting out, or none of us were getting out.
Yeah.
That's good. How about you, Kyle?
Well, you guys have sent me scrambling to find another moment, so I don't repeat
Oh
one.
my God. Nah, come
But
on.
I do have a different moment. But the Wheeler thing, the thing that stuck out to me was that ninth inning. There was no "Let's go Phillies" chants. It
Yeah.
was just after every pitch, Wheeler, Wheeler, You could feel this electricity in the building that you usually only feel in major series. So
Yeah,
that was a really cool moment for me being there for that game. I did find another game, though, and it brings me into kind of a theme that no one said outright, but I think we've all kind of almost said by accident underneath the surface of some of our comments. That Matt Kemp 4-hit game against Toronto. Huge game for him. Yeah, they won 11-4. He scores 3 runs, knocks in 2, all singles, but it was like a breakout for him, a welcome to the big leagues type of moment, and they gave him the daycare treatment. And all of a sudden, everybody on that team for one day felt that fun again. And that's something that has felt like we all feel like something's missing from this team. And I don't care if it's showering each other with gum or tiny little water cups or whatever, but you don't see them having fun. And maybe that's the pressure of expectations and the pressure of being veterans, but they don't, even though they're this good of a team, they don't feel like they're having fun. Kyle, and that is what attracted us to that team in 2022.
That really feels like an important point in that, I've come, full circle on this because early in the season when they said we're not going to do that stuff anymore with gum, I was like, this is great. These are professionals. They're coming out with a new professional attitude. They're just taking care of business. But
you miss
now that we've seen that, I'm just like, where's the fun? These guys.
Adding to all you guys here, look, they hear that stuff. We all know this, right? But they hear, oh, what a loser song, Dancing on My Own. That song's for losers. What are you talking about? They went to the World Series a year. They weren't supposed to do anything. Oh, the gum stuff. That's childish. Like, come on. Like, it's like what John said. They're having fun. What's wrong with that? Yeah. If they're winning and having fun.
Stubbs is going to come back when Stubbs, Crawford, Tanner, they're all going to come up. We're going to have some youth, some energy, and some vibes.
He's gonna.
I need somebody to do crying face like Hoskins does at people. I need somebody out there to just be like an antagonizer on this team. I know we got a lot of tough guys and a lot of guys who are veterans and want people to play the right way, but they need somebody who's just going to kind of like just nag the other guys a little bit.
They need the guy back who, when I go to Lehigh, he goes, "Oh, you came to see me, right?" That's Stubby.
Oh yeah.
Nick, why do you think they went away from it?
I think Jeff said they heard the people are like, okay, let's buckle down. We had the nice little run that nobody expected us to have in 2022, but we're a good team and we're contenders. So let's start acting like it. And like 2023, I thought was the year, like I think everybody thought was the year. They were having fun. They were playing loose all year, get to the playoffs, and listen, they had a 2-0 lead in the NLCS. It's like, all right, here we go. And just kind of fell apart. And I think
Kimbrough,
to their credit, I think they took that seriously enough to like, okay, like no more games. Like we need to win a World Series. And I think, that maybe caused some pressure that ultimately failed them last year. And again, like those are the expectations in Philly, especially when you're good, like, and you have that run in 2022. I don't think it necessarily would have been easier if they, lost in the first round, and then the next year they won a round or two and then lost, or like, because then I think the pressure would be even greater. Like this year, I think the pressure is like not as great as if they would have like lost first and kind of built their way to like the NLDS, NLCS. then going to the World Series losing, and then kind of like backtracking a little bit. I think I just don't think the pressure would have been the same. So I think this year, I don't think we're going to know what kind of team this is until, maybe August or September, because, it's again, that clutch gene where, was it 2023? Bryce Harper had an incredible August. I felt like maybe some of July, but like, it was like, oh, it'd be nice if Bryce hit a homer here. He hit a homer. And I was like, oh, like, and then he did that like 3 times in like a week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever. But I mean, like, I think people kind of was like expecting, okay, like the Phillies are clutch. And then that was like the last real clutchness we saw from them.
And they passed that along that year, Nick. It was Schwarber in June, then Castellanos in July, then Harper in August. And like, they just took turns carrying that team. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're right.
You're right,
and,
man.
Like I think about that a lot, because I'm like, man, what happened? Because we saw that energy Harper had, the energy the team had, and we're not seeing that even when they're doing good. We don't really see that energy, because maybe it's like, yeah, we expect this, So maybe they don't want to get too carried away. They don't want people to think that they're not taking it seriously, and in a way they're taking it maybe too seriously.
It's right. You're right, Nick. They expect to be 55 and 41. They expect to be in first place. They expect all this, and sometimes when you expect things, it's not as fun when you actually accomplish it.
Right.
Yeah, and it feels that way. Biggest surprise? How about start with you, Nick, and then we go Kyle, John, and Jeff.
My biggest surprise is almost like a biggest disappointment, but my biggest surprise, other than Ryan Kerkering, I think we've kind of talked about how he's kind of found his way. He's like the guy you trust out of the bullpen. If you needed to pick one, it would have been Strom like a few months ago, but now like Kerkering's my guy. So I'll say Ryan Kerkering.
His performance,
the bullpen arm is like,
that's great. Kyle,
guy.
how about you?
Oh man, how about Kyle Schwarber completely reinventing himself as a hitter for at least the first 2.5 months of the season? That would you ever have expected him to be one of the best hitters against left-handed pitching in the league? He was incredible at the top of the lineup. They asked him to move out of the leadoff spot, which he felt very comfortable doing, and he had, at least for 2 months, the best start to a season he's ever had. He's a guy who was thought to be a 3 true outcome guy. And like you said, Oscar, maybe it's returned to that a little bit, or returned to the mean a little bit, but a ton of singles, a ton of slapping the ball the other way, taking what was given to you, taking what the fielders were given to you. I did not expect that to come from him at any point. Be a great hitter, sure. Be a great home run guy, sure. Carry an offense as the main player and doing a little bit of everything, hitting above 250, on base near 400, and hitting 25 to 30 bombs. That was the biggest surprise to me, for sure.
That's great. How about you, John?
How about Trey Turner? How about the improvements he's made on his defense? I think he's done everything Rod Thompson asked of him in terms of his offensive approach, and he's just flying under the radar a little bit, because we expected this guy to come here and hit 320 with like 30 bombs. He may not be doing that, but he's quietly, very quietly, another all-star snub, in my opinion, but he's very quietly having a fantastic season, and a really surprising on his defense. He's been ripped, with good cause for his defense, but he's really worked at it, and it's paying off.
That's great. Jeff, anything that surprised you, or the biggest surprise this year?
Yeah, it's nothing that involves the big club yet, but it kind of does. I am surprised Andrew Painter is having the issues he's having in AAA, because those first couple starts, I'm like, okay, this guy's going to be up on this team in about 5 or 6 starts the way it's going. And, maybe that's credit to the starting rotation for making sure he doesn't get up there. But you could tell Andrew Painter is a guy who is still coming off Tommy John surgery. And I'm told this by so many people, especially pitchers. The first year is always the roughest, but your arm gets stronger. You start to get back in the routine toward the second half of that year, and then you really click the next year. So maybe that's it. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised by that, but I definitely thought this guy would be up on this team by now.
Okay. To me, Cable, that start against Skeens, and beating him, That was special. I don't think anyone on planet Earth could have expected what we saw there. Pitching those 6 innings, striking out 9, no base on balls. I mean, he was really, really special that day, and I love to see it. And the other thing, my favorite defensive player of the year, Mundito jumping over the fence there in Atlanta.
Oscar, that was a candidate for my highlight of the first half.
Look at that, man. That's
I wish that
love
would have resulted in a
play.
win, because then I would have posted all the calls. But
Yeah, look,
they lost.
we're not going
Yeah.
to talk about the play that happened immediately after that when Rojas
Yeah,
allowed the ball
please
to
don't.
drop. But that to me was the special or the most surprise. I was so surprised by that. So let's talk about
Anybody else? Like, I know we're going to get into him with this. Anybody else surprised Aaron Nola was as bad as he's been?
Yeah.
that was a little bit.
I mean,
yeah.
I was very much so.
so
Yeah,
biggest
that leads right
disappointment.
into the disappointment, right? But,
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's a good
and I'm
segue.
hoping it was just the injury, and he comes back, and he comes back strong. And yeah, it's kind of wild that they lost Aaron Nola, and they're still here in first place. Like that's
with
Yeah,
three
but
pitchers.
you know, Mets fans will tell us Sean Manaea is better than him. Like,
Look,
Ooh, they walked off against Shamanaya today, by the way.
they did.
So
Yeah.
So let's try to do this one quickly. So I had Alvarado, Kepler, Romano, and then more than Aaron Nola is the injury to him. I mean, going with a sprained ankle and then turning into a broken rib cage. I mean, it's been really disappointing not to see him pitch. I mean, he's one of the most wonderful persons that you would ever get to meet, and he's a really, really special guy. And I mean, I feel for him because I know how bad he wants to be here and how much he feels that jersey that he wears. So it's the disappointment on those injuries. I mean, were the 3 of those. Anything else, guys, that you want to bring in terms of disappointment from your end?
I got one. Bryson Stott.
That was
Yes.
mine.
Yeah.
He's a
That
guy
was
2
mine.
years ago. I would have friends talking about the Phillies need to sign him to one of those Atlanta Braves deals right now before
No.
they can't afford him. He was a guy who hit everybody. He was the perfect hitter for what you described earlier in the show, Oscar. He's a guy who would hit the ball all over the place. He could slap it. He could hit if you needed to in the clutch. He had some pop when facing right-handed hitters. He seems to have no power, no consistency. He's unplayable against lefties, and he's turned into a platoon player who might not have a job here in a couple years. I think Rob Thompson regularly says we know what he can do against lefties, but he hasn't shown it in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And I like the guy himself. This isn't anything about him, but the numbers
great
are what
kid.
they are.
Yeah.
You can't trust him against left-handed hitting, and you can barely trust him in the lineup day in and day out anymore.
You know what, Kyle? There's a good word for you. And
Great
Nick,
second baseman, by the way. You
Yeah.
got to give him
Yeah.
credit
For sure.
where it is. I mean, he's
Incredible defender.
There's a word. There's a word to add on for Bryson Stott, and I've heard this for 3 years now. He seems overmatched, and maybe that's the case.
Fastball. I mean, the high fastball. I mean, he just has a hard time catching up to it. I mean, look, he's hit some big home runs for the Phillies in this run that we've had. I mean, the grand slam against the Marlins. I mean, this year he hit a home run that we were losing that game and hit a 2-run homer for us to go ahead. But we need more consistency. I mean, that's the reality. And he'll have the chance to do it, but he has to do it. I mean, period.
Yeah, it's year 4. It's time.
Anything else that you guys want to bring to the disappointment here, or you guys are good?
Jose Alvarado's mine, just for being.
Yeah.
Look, we already knew this bullpen had issues, and now you missed him for 80 games. I guarantee you, if Jose Alvarado is around Tuesday, Patrick Bailey does not hit a 3-run home run. They'll turn Romano.
We'll probably have 5 or 6 more wins with Alvarado.
I agree with you. Like, you lost your closer. You lost your closer, and he's not coming back for the postseason, and he's not coming back till August.
Yeah, I think that the Alvarado situation really has to be the biggest disappointment because, yeah, it looks like a different team. Your bullpen is just completely different with him in there. I see Max Kepler on the slide. I would argue not a disappointment because he's doing exactly what he did last year.
Yeah, John, you point that out.
The disappointment was the Phillies thinking he was something else.
Well, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, my expectations were never big for him, so it's like
You're
but
kind
it's
of
mostly on
getting
Dave, yeah.
you're kind of getting what you paid for, right?
Hey, he's in both places. How about that? He has one of the best players, one of the most memorable moments, that home run against Mason Miller.
All right, guys, I'm going to start up right now. Does anybody think he's on the team come Friday?
No.
Friday? Yeah. I don't think they're going to use their flexibility. If they end up calling up, I don't know what your situation is. If you think they're going to make a trade during the break or if they're calling up Crawford, they're more likely to send somebody down with an option like Rojas than they are to cut a guy who they invested in, even if it's 1 year. Now, trade deadline, maybe in August. I don't know if that's the case, but Friday, sure. Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Friday. But long term, I don't think there's a spot for Kepler on this team. There's, if you want to add an outfielder, you want to add a right-handed bat, then somebody's going to have to go. Marsh has been playing really well since the brutal start, since he came back.
I see a guy like Laureano, for example, that's playing. He used to play for the Oakland, for the Braves. Now he's playing for the Orioles. That's that guy, he creates things. He has a great arm, by the way, as an outfielder. He creates things. He creates things. I mean, and that's what we need. We need people that can create opportunities for us to score runs, and those are the type of guys that I like. And look, he probably is not going to cost you an arm and a leg, but it's a guy that would be a very, very valuable weapon to have, and he's an outstanding outfielder.
I'll tell you what, I seriously thought at one point with Kepler's minor injury this week, they were going to shut him down and let Weston Wilson come on the road trip, go on the taxi squad, because they did pull Wilson right after that happened. I think they were preparing for it, and then I think Kepler ended up being fine, and then Weston Wilson ended up playing the rest of the league. But I wouldn't be shocked if Weston Wilson's back on this team at some point this season.
I mean, the question is, to me, look, I like Weston Wilson, but we've been there before. It's more of the same, those guys that are trying to hit home runs,
but you need bats off the bench. That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, if it's off the bench, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I really like the guy.
Well, also, he's not an outfielder.
Exactly. Thank you.
Excellent point. That is definitely an excellent point. Look, talking just a few more things here. Talking about Painter, this is kind of where he was last night. I added this a few minutes ago, just before we started the show. He hit today. I mean, he pitched today 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 home runs. Again, the home run ball is beginning to play a role here. One thing that I'll mention is he's hitting home runs against major league hitters. Meneses, he's hit 2 home runs against him. Today, Alvarez hit one of the home runs against him. The catcher, the prospect, or the guy that was in the with the
was
Mets.
A prospect, still is young. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, the reality is, look, there are people that have told me, look, should Painter come up to the major leagues and prepare himself here? Look, I think he's 22 years old. He has a long way to go. He can continue to pitch in AAA and bring him all the tools and all the knowledge and the analytics and everything that he needs. He probably needs a break right now.
Oh, he's getting one.
Yeah, he probably needs a break, so he'll be good. Now I'll show you this, that I was looking at this with regards to Painter. Something that caught my attention on his splits is how much is the left-handed hitting. The left-handed hitters are the ones that they have an OPS of 906 versus right-handed hitting, which is a 683. The average in MLB is 720. So the left-handed pitch hitters are doing a much better job hitting against them than the right-handed pitching, the right-handed batters. So,
I was told they're seeing his fastball really well. So
there you go, and you're seeing this. So it's something to keep in mind. Couple players here. Let me pull one thing here right quick in terms of the players of the week. The outfielder, they're both from Jersey Shore, the Blue Claws of Jersey Shore. Avery Owosu Asiodu. He's an outfielder. He's 22 years old. The guy was our 9th round pick in the 2023 draft. Thank you, Steve Porter, for providing all this wonderful information. The 9th round pick from Southern Illinois. A little known fact, he wrote here, he's the fastest runner in the entire organization. So he's a guy to keep our eyes on. Again, he's only 22 years old, and he was drafted in 2023.
And we got some fast guys in the minor leagues, by the way.
Yep. And he has he has 6 home runs this season. He has a powerful bat, 6'4", 230 pounds. That sounds like a football player to me, Jeff. 6'4", 230 pounds. You look like a linebacker to me. So look, it's great to hear. These are his numbers in July: 371, 463 on base percentage, 977 OPS. So looking forward to him. The honorable mention: Francisco Loreto, an 18-year-old guy from the Florida Coast League. Again, he's just growing. He has quick hands, great bat speed, ability to drive the ball. So he's from my country, from Caracas, from Maracay, Venezuela. He's hit 2 home runs so far, so somebody to keep an eye on. He's not a good fielder. Have you ever heard of this before? Francisco Loreto is not a good fielder. They try him in the outfield, and now he's playing third base. They're moving him to first base. The pitcher of the week is Braden Tucker. He's a 25-year-old guy. He was signed as an undrafted free agent in July of 2023. He pitched at Lipscomb University, and you see some of the things that he's doing there over the last 2 games. He's not allowed to run. 13 innings, 5 hits, 13 strikeout, no base on balls. Good numbers, and a name, Braden Tucker, to keep in mind in the future. The honorable mention, a couple of them here: Mick Abel, 6 scoreless innings this week, a 1-hitter. He was actually pitching a no-hitter. I think it was 5.2 innings. So pretty impressive. Mick Abel going out there, and he threw a lot more sliders. So great to see Mick Abel doing his thing. And Alex McFarland, we've had him 2 straight weeks of the pitcher of the week. The guy pitched 15 scoreless innings in 3 outings there, with 3 hits and 19 strikeouts. So again, those are our players of the week. Here's what's coming up next, and kind of the last slide that I have for you guys. And I don't know, any thoughts as we start beginning the second half of the year that you guys have, and I'll tell you the starters. So Luzardo is going to start game 1 against the Angels. Then it's going to be Taiwan Walker. Our friend Taiwan Walker is going to pitch game 2. Game 3 is going to be pitched by Ranger Suarez, and they want to have the big horses, or the bigger horses, for the Red Sox. It's going to be Wheeler game 1, Christopher Sanchez game 2, and Luzardo for game 3 against the Red Sox. And then we play the Yankees in New York, and then the White Sox in Chicago. So anything, and here are the runs per game and the ERA for each of the teams there. I don't know, anything that you can think of as we start, and what do you like to see in the second half of the season, as we start the second half of the season?
Just some wins.
Don't fight, guys. Don't fight. Don't fight between one another.
So the Boston series, that's a big one, not only for them, but for Boston. Boston, this is an important couple of weeks. They have a couple guys who they could significantly impact the trade deadline, and they don't need to do a full rebuild, but a retooling, trading away maybe an Alex Bregman, who has an opt-out after this season, maybe trading away Aroldis Chapman, as we mentioned earlier. They could retool with a team that feels pretty close the last couple seasons. So that's going to be a big one. It's always high competitive against the AL East. And the Yankees are a team that feels a lot like the Phillies. They felt a lot like them last year. They feel a lot like them this year. If you asked a Yankees fan right now, if the sky was falling, they would tell you to trade everybody except for Aaron Judge. They had a really rough stretch last year in August and still managed to make it to the World Series. They brought in some energy in Jazz Chisholm at the deadline last season, and that's what Philadelphia needs to do this season as well. But those 2 series are big for different reasons. Boston, it's more big for them, I would say. But it's always good to see how you match up against top-tier teams, and both of those teams are just that.
Yeah, I mean,
look
at our pitching. Look where our pitching is.
I would just add that. Sorry, Oscar. I would just add that the wins count the same. If they collect their wins against the Angels, the White Sox, and then go 500-ish against the AL East guys.
I think anything from your end, Nick, in terms of what you would like to see in the beginning of the second half of the year?
I would just like to see, if they're down late in the game, just get some clutch hits, man. Maybe mash some homers. Like let's get the juices going a little bit. It's the end of July coming up.
We need more highlights. We need Nick Piccone's highlights.
Like,
come on.
Listen, I don't get paid to analyze baseball games. I love just posting highlights, man. I love
this is social media day here. We need more highlights.
We need more highlights.
By the way, guys, I have to point this out. This road ahead, to me, this is, and I love baseball. This is the most boring part of baseball season to me because you're anticipating a trade deadline. You're anticipating everything you hear for months starts to come into fruition. You're like, well, it doesn't really matter because they're going to add this guy. They're going to add this guy. It's give me that Yankees and Chicago series, and we'll be good.
Look, I'll tell you one thing, and one of my partners that was broadcasting the game with me, Angel Castillo, mentioned it. We don't play the 31st. So the trading deadline day, we don't play. So that's a great thing to have. So
they don't play Thursday until August 14th.
Yeah.
They don't play on Thursday until August 14th.
Is that going to be a home game? Because I remember hearing something about they're not wearing the throwback Thursday jerseys for a long time.
Yep. The last time they wore a throwback Thursday jersey was May 30th when Wheeler gave up the 6 runs.
The only thing that I'll mention is we have the best pitching in baseball, or the best pitching in the among all the teams that we're going to be facing. We have the best starting staff in baseball with a 3.25 ERA. Let's enjoy it. Let's go for everything. First of all, starting with you, Kyle, where can we follow you in social media?
I am on Twitter and Blue Sky at Kyle Fisher 45. It's my old jersey number from when I was a beer vendor at the stadium, so stuck with me all these years. But
look at that, man! Look at that.
Yes, sir. And then on YouTube at Kyle Fisher Media. So Instagram Kyle Fisher 45 as well.
All right, Mr. 45. Thank you so much.
I thought maybe you were just a Michael Jordan.
We're gonna call you Mr. 45 from now on, Mr. 45. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Nick, where can we follow you on social media with all your magic?
At _Piccone on TikTok and Twitter, and I'm at Piccone Nick on Threads, and just at Piccone on Blue Sky. So all my clips could be found on those platforms.
Beautiful. Every time, once in a while, I don't get to see all my social media every day. Suddenly I see this highlight coming in from Nick that he tagged me on it. I said, oh my God, I haven't retweeted this. So thank you, Nick. Thank you for everything you do, brother.
Thanks for having me.
How about you, John? Where can we follow you on social media?
It's at 2008 Phils with a Z. Really just on Twitter and on Blue Sky at the moment. It's a pretty good community. I don't know if Blue Sky is going to survive or not. A lot of competition.
With you in it, they'll survive.
But up there, and there's a thriving Philadelphia sports community. So I would recommend that folks check it out.
Guys, follow John, Nick, and Kyle. They're one of the most special people in the Phillies world, and we truly appreciate him, Jeff, for them being with us here today. Jeff, where can we follow you in social media?
Just follow me at Jeff Kerr CBS on Twitter. I have the same handle on Instagram, and that's where you're going to find me.
That's wonderful. By the way, I was working in some of the slides, and suddenly I see Jeff Kerr yesterday at WIP with Ricky Ricardo, of all people in this world, man.
Not even talking about sports. That's the irony of it.
Yeah, we're talking about Superman. I said, what's going on here, man?
Also, I'm a movie extraordinaire. I mean, I am. I do go see like 5 movies a week, but that's not the point.
And by the way, you saw Superman yesterday, and it's a really good movie.
I enjoyed it. Yes.
How about that? Oh, that was not from a scale of 1 to 10. What do you give the movie?
I give it an 8.
Look at that. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. All-Star Week. Home Run Derby is going to be very interesting. I'm going with Caminero from the race. Anybody takes anybody else in the Home Run Derby?
Who's in it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. That's they Rob Manfred basically told me do not care about this game.
I'm boycotting the whole.
Let's boycott it. Okay, I won't watch it. I promise I won't watch it.
By the way, can I get out one thing here for a guy who loves prospects? Did anybody know the Futures game was on yesterday at 4?
I'd watched it.
I watched, but like, how's a casual fan supposed to know that?
Yeah, it was the Dodgers guy. We had Taid. He catched the 4th and the 5th inning and went 0 for 1. So with a ground ball, I think second base. So.
Yeah, ground ball, second base. Yep.
Yeah. So, guys, again, thank you so much. We truly, truly appreciated being here with us. Looking forward to have you very soon. And we say goodbye today. Thank you for all of you tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Next week, we'll focus on the trading deadline and our minor league system and see kind of where we are there and the things that the magic that Dave Dombrowski is going to do for all of us. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you very soon.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y